we're going to talk a little bit about WordPress. A lot of people are using WordPress these days, and so if you could give us maybe your top 5 picks for plugins.
Off the top of my head, I would say, well, we actually have a plugin at SEO Automatic called Core Tweaks. It's a WordPress setup plugin, so all the things that you do after you install WordPress, you know, changing your permalinks, deleting the Hello World post, and probably 25 other things. We've taken that roughly 20 to 30 minutes of prep time, and we've put that onto one page in the admin, so anybody can go in and literally make, you know, half an hour's worth of changes in a single click. So that's called Core Tweaks. For SEO in general, like some of the SEO basics, I'm still a big fan of the most popular SEO plugin. Is called All-in-One SEO. Really good for beginner to intermediate people who they just want to get the fundamentals out of the way, but they don't really want to dig in very deeply. Then when it comes to somebody who wants maybe a little more control, there are so many different SEO plugins. 3 that come to mind are Headspace, and the other one, honestly, the name escapes me. It's an advanced SEO plugin that gives a little more control, detailed, and then Yoast. It's yoast.com, has a really, what I've seen as a pretty impressive looking plugin. We've used it on a couple of sites. It gives you a ton of control for SEO, everything from your titles and descriptions and all that. But it adds some functionality that you need to have. You need to be able to, you can edit your robot's text file, your htaccess inside WordPress in the admin. You can put in your Google Webmaster Tools information. It just does a whole host of things. He integrates another plugin called XML Sitemaps that we've recommended that everyone use. He integrates the XML sitemap creation into that plugin. And another plugin that we always used was another one of his called RSS Footer. There are a lot of people out there that, you know, they'll find blogs and sites that give content that they want to use on their site, and they'll just steal the RSS feed and they'll run that content on their site. Well, there's a plugin called RSS Footer that will actually allow you to add a line or 2 or 3 after your RSS that can say anything you want along with text links. So, you know, there's no way to really beat the game if somebody's stealing your RSS feed, but you can assure that you get some backlinks at the same time.
What about themes? Do you have any recommendations for where to look, or what are some of your favorites?
You know, probably the single most popular theme is a premium theme. I think called. I think that's probably the most popular that you hear everyone talking about is Thesis. We don't use Thesis very often. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right, but the theme that I'm liking right now the most for our programmer, for our needs, is called Atahualpa. I'm almost sure that's how it's pronounced, Atahualpa. Really easy to understand, lots and lots of detailed control of the sidebars and how things are laid out. All the CSS is if you speak CSS, it's pretty easy to understand. But really, if you don't have an idea for design, I usually encourage people to look just right inside WordPress. The fact that you can actually browse themes right in the WordPress control panel, and you can do a little preview and install them right from there. I mean, that's really a good way to go. I mean, you know, there's no reason in the beginning, unless there's specific functionality you're after, to I hate to say this because I know there's a lot of premium theme fans, but to pay for a theme and then only to find out down the road that it doesn't do everything you want, that can sometimes leave you in the lurch. Whereas a free theme, if it doesn't do it, you just change it to another one.
And when considering web hosting, what questions do you need to ask, or what do you need to look out for?
With a web host, typically, you know, I used to be a big fan of shared servers, cheap shared hosting for small businesses and sites. Now with speed now being a ranking factor, as well as some security issues, you can have your site hacked. You can have your server IP address penalized through no fault of your own, just by what someone else is doing in the back end. So, you know, in a shared environment, the ability to know who your neighbors are just isn't there. So, you know, recommending going with more dedicated environments now as opposed to some of the less expensive shared web hosts.
Who specifically do you recommend?
You know, I'm actually a web host too. Portland Technology Consultants, PDXTC in Portland. We do some shared hosting, shared only. We do no dedicated servers. You know, some of the bigger people are Rackspace, Dreamhost for dedicated servers. And then we do our share of, we have certain sites that we, for some reason or other, don't want to run on our own servers. I'm a big fan of Bluehost. I really like them. I've found their customer service to be quick, fast. You can chat with them. You can get answers fixed in a short amount of time. And to me, that's the most important thing, is accessibility and support from a host. And we've had nothing but success with Bluehost.
All right, this is Scott Hendison, and thanks for joining. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.